guys, welcome back to Women Carry Knives. On the table in front of us, we are going to be taking a look at another one of the budget-friendly knives, just in time for Christmas. Before I get started, you guys, hit that like button. It does help the channel. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button there. I would love to have you guys here all the time. Let's get started. What is that on the table? Well, this is the Bestech Explorer. And this is another funky, cool knife by Bestech. I am really liking its weirdness, if that's the way to explain it. Now, you guys probably saw a little while ago, I did the operator. This one, again, is kind of in the same line as that, although it is smaller. This runs for $63, first of all, so it is definitely budget friendly. You can find this one in jade, green, black with the stonewash blade, or white with black stonewash. Okay, so you do have a lot of options on this one, and that is really cool. What are you getting with this? You are going to get a D2 tanto blade. Very interesting style. There's kind of, you know, this eyeball look to it, kind of a reptilian look to it, which I think is interesting. You do have the satin finish down here with the black stonewash on the top, which I think looks really neat. And it is another flat grind. Very sharp. Bestech does some really good job with their sharpening skills. I do like that. Their handles, which I just told you come in the different colors, are G10. Unfortunately for my lefties, this is another right-hand carry, tip up only. So this is another one where you're going to have the recessed pocket clip. It's funny because I'm sitting here looking at it from my view, but I need to show you guys. You are going to have a recessed pocket clip on that. Your screws are not going to be recessed. So for those of you that know that, you know, just know that it may wear on your jeans after a while. However, this thing has been super comfortable in pocket. It rides like an absolute dream. It is a liner lock, and your lockup on this one is going to be roughly, and actually this is very hard to see on this one because of the light. But, oh, I have a flashlight right here. Okay, so your lockup on this is going to be, I'm going to call it about 25 to 30% on that. Okay, which is not bad. Now, your scales are milled out, and actually you can see that because you can see the blade through there, which is making this knife really light. I do love that too. I like my knives to be a little bit lighter. This does run on bearings. It is very, very smooth. So you do have two methods of deployment. As you can see, this is a flipper, and the flipper tab shape is very interesting. They did put some jimping on it, although I don't think because of the way that that is shaped that you really would need jimping. You know, it's okay to have it there, and I think that's there more for when the knife is open, so you can have some jimping there for you. You do kind of have a recessed scale here so that you're able to get to your liner lock easier. And I also appreciate that, especially when I have my nails longer. For those of you that really like the fidget factor, centered very nicely. For those of you like the fidget factor and maybe you don't want to use the flipper tab, you can actually Spidey flick this one really well too. Also, you can thumb roll it. Now it is much smaller, but you can thumb roll it if you choose to do it that way too. I think I would actually like to take this one and dye the scales. Now, again, it's not mine. It's from the Black Widow Pass-Around group, so it's not something that I can do. But if I do have this one, I would actually take it and dye my scales either purple or red, because, you know, those are my two favorite colors. And I think that would really look good with the black hardware and the black stone washing on the top of the blade. I'm a big fan of that. There's something about the body of this, just, you know, even though it's called the Explorer, it reminds me of a fish. Like, these are the fish gills, you know, it's kind of the back of the fin. It is definitely an odd looking knife, but there's something about it that, you know, it's kind of like when you go see that real ugly animal and you're thinking, wow, it's so ugly, it's cute. That's kind of, maybe you don't think that. I do. Okay, to be fair. But that is kind of my thoughts on this one. You do have a G10 backspacer in this also. So as you can see, your scales or your liners are kind of skeletonized. That's making for a very light knife on this one. Now, you do have a deep carry clip. I already told you that it is recessed into the scales. But because of the little kind of wing we have going here, it's not going to be deep carry because you're going to have what is hanging off from that wing there. So you are looking about a 1/4 inch out of your pocket. Okay, so just want to make that very clear. It is not a lanyard friendly knife. So those of you that want to carry your knife on a lanyard, this will not be one of them. Let's look at some specs on this one. All right, we are talking about a 3-inch blade, and you're looking at 2 3/4 inches on the cutting edge. Now, as I said, it is a D2 Tanto blade. You do have the satin finish with the black stone wash, as I said, and this grind is a flat grind. So I know we went over that. I just want to make that very clear again. Your total length, as I said, is 3 inches. Your cutting edge is about 2 3/4. Your closed length is going to be, we'll close down our handle here, and your closed length is going to be a hair over 3 inches. I'm sorry, 4 inches. So your overall length is going to be right about 7 inches total. That's a good size. That's a really good size. I do enjoy that size knife. Let's take a look at it next to the Benchmade. As you can see, lengthwise, the Benchmade is actually, and if we're going pivot to pivot, the Benchmade is actually a tad longer, and mostly because the blade is longer. The handle's about the same, maybe, you know, a little bit longer, but it's not that much bigger. So I would actually consider this a medium-sized knife. Not quite small, not quite medium, you guys. It's going to be a medium. Let's take a look at it next to the Rat 1, which I consider large. You can see there. We'll line these up pivot to pivot for you. It kind of gives you a little size perception there. Sometimes when I'm doing my videos, I think about it. You know, I do have smaller hands, so my reviews are really good for people with smaller hands, and they're also good for women with smaller hands. But sometimes I've had people comment that, hey, you know, you reviewed this knife, I got it, and it was just way too small for me. Okay, you guys, I understand that. I have a 3-inch hand across and a 4-inch diagonally hold. You know, I try to make that very clear all the time. I have small hands. So if you're looking for a big knife, please don't use my hands compare what size the knife is. That's why I try to bring other knives out. Also, if you're not familiar with a therapeutic edge, which I'm sure most of you are, he is actually my husband. So if you want to see the difference in a small hand review and a large hand review, after you watch this one, if you haven't already, get on over to Therapeutic Edge. You can see what it looks like in some giant monkey paws.
That hasn't gone live yet, but it will.
I'm talking about when after they watch this. Yes, dear.
Okay.
Yeah. You just put your earphone back in over there, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. All right, you guys. Absolutely love this one. Now, as I said, the clip, it's interesting because the way that they have done the blade. And I'm not a huge fan. I kind of wish that they would have had this up a little bit more. I understand because the way they designed it, you know, that's going to be your flipper tab. But I think they could have done it a little bit differently for the reason that I feel like you have to be way further back on the handle. And it is kind of an odd way for me to hold it. I would prefer to have my finger up higher like this, which would make it a lot more comfortable. Now I can hold it like that. I just don't feel like it's as comfortable for me. It definitely fits on my hand really well. It's very comfortable. The texturing on the knife itself, on the G10, feels really good because of the slits that are, or the cutouts that are on the handle. You know, you're getting a good grip all the way around. Fabulous, fabulous knife. I love this one. As I said, in the pocket, it rides it's very smooth, rides really, really well, and I'm really enjoying this one. This may be one that I might have to grab for my collection, and again, because I want to go ahead and dye the scales out. But for now, it will move on through the pass-around group, and once people are done with it, hopefully somebody will take it and maybe make a modification if it's not going back to the maker. I think that would be awesome. All right, you guys, this has been a look at the Bestech Explorer. As I said, it is a budget-friendly knife coming in at $63, and you do have your choices of the jade, the green, the black, the white with black stonewash, or the black with black stonewash. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it down in the comments section. You know I love talking to you guys. I will always answer your questions if I am able to. If not, I will find an answer to your question. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me.